Alright, the Ischia Black fig tree is starting to ripen some Brebas finally. If you saw my last video, the last two Brebas, for whatever reason, dried out on the inside and didn't ripen properly. I think it got a little too hot in the greenhouse for it, so I moved it outside and that seems to have done the trick. It really triggered these to start ripening. You can see there's a couple here that are starting to get a little color to them. Another few days and they should be ripened. Now the ones that are ripened and ready to eat, there's one of the two here actually, you can see it. The one on the right is actually ready to eat, and these purple bags are organza bags I ordered off of eBay. And what these do is hopefully protect the figs from wasps, birds, any other type of item. People say that their birds and squirrels will go right through them. I've had good luck with them. It's protected the figs and hasn't really shown that the birds can get through them or that they're willing to get through them. I'm sure once they get used to them, they probably will. If you look real close, you can see the bird damage that I had this morning. I was too late putting the organza bags in. I didn't really need them last year, so I kind of expected this year I wouldn't need them either, but you can see there's a little bit of damage in there. So I'd like to let it go for another day or two until it gets real droopy. But the bird damage, I'm afraid that the bird damage will start to rot and make the fig go bad. So I'm going to pick it now. Let's see how it comes off here. Can I get the bag off? Let's see if I can get the bag off before I take the fig off. Oh boy, let's see. Big fig. Alright, got it. So yeah, you can see that there's definitely some damage there. I'm guessing it was from a bird. It doesn't look like the normal splitting from rain. It looks like a bird peck. So I'm going to pick this and cut around it and see what it tastes like. So let's get it off the tree here. You can see it's a really decent sized Breba. Brebas and most figs tend to be a lot bigger than the main crop. Yeah, I would have liked to have left it on there another couple of days, but still, not a lot of latex coming out of it, so it should be pretty good. Well, let's see. Alright, so here's the leaf pattern. Let me get the fig out of the way there so you can see it. This is the, I'll say, as typical as the leaves get on my Black Ischia. It's been heavily affected by fig mosaic virus for years now, and most of the leaves have a slightly sickly, different shape to them. But this is, I'd say, about average. A lot of them don't have these little cankles here. A lot of them have just a straight leaf. There's a few that have even four. There's a few spades. The four, it looks kind of like this, where maybe there was a tear or something happened to actually make this leaf finger break into two different leaves. But this is pretty close to what they look like. Here's the fig. You can see the bird damage here. It was a lot smaller this morning. I'm guessing that as the fig expanded and ripened further, it actually kind of caused it to get worse and split open a little bit. Looks like it's going to storm here soon, so if I didn't pick this now, I'm sure it would have actually rotted. So if I look at the top of it, you can see it actually looks like it's pretty ripe inside, so. And here's the back side. This is the side that was facing away from the sun, so it's not quite as dark. And this was in the greenhouse up until, I don't know, a week or two ago. Hence the figs are not as ripe. Last year they actually got black, I mean deep, deep black, and they'll get deep black with the main crop and some of the remaining Brebas, I imagine. Eyes semi-open. I don't see any fig honey in it, but I can definitely see there's a little bit of red inside for the red colored fig inside. So let's go ahead and cut this open. Debating how I want to cut this to try to get rid of that bird damage there. Not exactly sure. Maybe I'll just cut the bird damage off first. That's no fun. We all want to see what the inside looks like, so I think I'm just going to cut right down the middle, and then I'll cut it off of the edges. So let's see. Got my serrated knife, and let's just give it a go. Yeah, could have used a little more time. You can see the inside's not as red as it should be. when this really gets ripe. At least in the main crop. You know, the Breba could be different, but in the main crop, when this gets ripe, that inside is completely red and jammy-like. So, either way, it's still nice to have a fresh fruit, fresh fig. It's been, I think the last one I got at the greenhouse was January 1st or December 31st, so it's been 6 months. Go ahead and cut off some of this bird damage to give her a try. Alright. See, no bird damage. Proof for later for the insurance company. I won't get salmonella and die. But fig, it is squishy. I mean, it's pretty ripe. I'm just surprised there's not more red inside of it. Could have used a little bit longer. I mean, I like them when they're really overripe. But let's give this a try. It's actually pretty decent. I'm impressed. I mean, it doesn't compare to a main crop fig, no way. But the Brebas, I've seldom had a Breba that came even close to a main crop. But it's got a real strong figgy taste, and I'd say a hint of berry. It's not real sweet. It's a little tart, if anything. But it's pretty good. I'm trying to think of what to relate it to. Almost like a blueberry. You know how that blueberry's got a little bit of that tartness to it, and then the acid kicks in? Take away the acid, and the flavor profile's somewhat similar to it. I wouldn't call it a strawberry. I think blueberry-ish would be as close as I can get. Let me try a little more of this top piece. That's pretty good. You know, it's not going to wow me like a main crop would, but it's really nice to have some fresh fruit. This would probably be really good on a cereal or mixed into a yogurt where it's not overpoweringly sweet and flavorful. It just kind of blends in with the rest of it. I don't know. All in all, I'd say if I had to give it a rating against figs in general, it would be, I don't know, somewhere in a 6 range, because it does have a good flavor to it, even though it's not overly strong or sweet. But for a Breba, I mean, out of the Brebas I've had between VDB, Canadria, and some others, this is towards the top. It's pretty good. It's dry, but not dry. And if you've ever had a Breba, you know what I mean. It doesn't have that jammy, syrupy texture to it. It's got more of a kind of like when you dip an Oreo in milk and let it get soggy, or, you know, bread gets wet in, you know, sauce. It's kind of got that texture to it, where it's not syrupy, but it's still damp and moist. So it's pretty good. I look forward to having more, and hope you enjoyed the video.